Hi, and welcome to Baker Affair. I'm Pika, and on today's episode, I'm making a pear cheese tart. And these are with poached pears that I made last week. I'll leave the link. I think it comes over here. I'll leave the link up there so you can watch it. I'm going to take the pears that I made last week, which are right here. These are poached pears, and use puff pastry, cream cheese, and powdered sugar and cinnamon sugar. So let's get started. Cream cheese. I was like this days old, which I found out like last week. If you are in a pinch, it needs to be room temperature. If it is not room temperature, you know what you do? You take a like measuring cup or a glass that it'll fit into and fill it with warm water, hot water, and just, because this is airtight. Who knew? I had no idea. Right now I'm going to dump this into a bowl. And I'm going to like move it around just like that. Like just, you know. And I'm going to add powdered sugar. How much? I'm so bad with measurements. I mean, 1/4 of a cup. Let's try it. 1/3 of a cup. I'm going to try 1/3 of a cup. Because usually I just make it. I don't really measure anything. And I'm also going to want to add a teeniest splash of vanilla. Just so that you can taste a little bit vanilla. And then you're going to mix it together. If you're new here, hi. If you've been a subscriber, welcome back. I'm glad you're watching. If you have any, see, I'm at a loss for words. If you would like to see anything that you think I might know how to bake, please leave a comment below. I like to actually read comments. I like to respond to comments, but a lot of people don't like to talk to me. Just put something down below. Say hi. Anyway, if you're new here, hi. And what happened this week? I come out with new videos every week, every Wednesday. Yep, that's good. I put 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, and maybe that might be a little too much. So you can use whatever you want to use. I'm just mixing away. What happened this week? I had my orchids opened up, which was fun. I have been trying to grow orchids and have them flower for years upon years. And I finally made it. Okay, so when it's all mixed together, like, you know, really mixed together, where it's like kind of spreadable. That's so good. You might want a little less, maybe 1/4 of a cup of sugar. I'd start from there and then work up. Okay, so you're going to get the puff pastry and you're going to roll it out. If you ever come across fresh puff pastry, I highly recommend, because the freezer, it's all right. But I lived in a town one time where all they had was like the fresh, and I've been transformed. Been transformed. Okay, let me show you what's going on below. Hold on a minute. Okay, so offset spatula. If you don't have one, it's no big deal. I am in love with the offset spatula. It's life-changing. I never had one, and then I got one. I'm like, oh, they are so life-changing. But we're good. So now I'm going to add, I'm still doing this wrong. I need to slice these in slivers and put it on. Okay, so after I made a mistake again, I'm having a bad day. Anyway, I think I usually just cut them in pieces and then put them on, because it's easier to cut the tart when it's got smaller pieces. And I don't make anything. I mean, you can do it whatever way you want. I just Jones out. But I think I think I did it wrong. I think you just want to do it any way you want to do it. Because right now it's not looking right. It doesn't look pretty. Usually it looks very pretty. I haven't made this. My husband's been dying for it. And I said, okay, I'll make it. And usually I make things and I write down the recipe. But it's like a half a recipe, you know, like my grandmother's raisin bread recipe. I know that she probably used milk, but she came from a large family and they had to, she had to take care of her younger sisters when her mother died. And she was only like 18 when she, and everybody had to take care of everybody, that like they cut back on certain things. They didn't have money for it. Water was cheaper. So anyway, I just made a mess of my dessert, but I know it's still going to I still know it's going to taste good. It's kind of hard to believe this is called Baker Affair. I do have an affair with baking. I love baking. It's my like therapy. It really is. Because you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. There's a lot of places on YouTube that like everybody's perfect and everybody is, and I'm not. I'm me. So maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you won't. Maybe you just like watching me. I don't know. I have to be me though. In a minute, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But like I said, I messed it up. I usually cut the pears differently, like completely differently. So keep that in mind. It's still going to taste delicious. It really will. It just doesn't look as pretty. But like if you were taking it to a party, nobody's ever going to notice anyway. Okay, I think that's about all that's going to fit on there. I'm going to add an egg wash to the rim, and then I'm going to add the cinnamon sugar to it and on top. And then I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon sugar. Now I'm going to stick this in the oven for about, I think, 12 to 15 minutes. I'll be back then. Okay, so I took it out of the oven. It's cooled a little bit, and this is what it looks like. Even though I screwed up the whole directions, all of it. I have made this, I can't tell you how many times. I never even used a recipe. I made it up all by myself, and my husband wanted it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I could film it for you guys. And you know what? Here we are. But anyway, I'm going to try it. So I find the easiest way to cut it is with a pizza cutter. Wow. You're in for a real treat. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that looks delicious. Okay, so let me try it. It's going to be so good. I cannot begin to tell you how delicious this is. It's crunchy. The creaminess from the cream cheese and the cinnamon and the nutmeg from the pears. Everything just works perfectly with this. It's so good. I will leave a recipe below, because it's kind of like something I just always throw together, and it's just my own thing. So I'll try to come up with something, and I hope you read it and you try making it. It's super easy. I'm sure you could use any other kind of fruit also, but the pears just work for me. So on that note, thank you for watching again for the thousandth time, and hope you give a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you like, share, and until the next time, ciao.